So My Hero Academia Chapter 391 is finally out, and with it comes the beginnings of the fated showdown between Ochaco Uraraka and the Blood Queen herself, Himiko Toga. It's Miss Blood Kink versus the Zero Gravity Gal. Who will win? Let's find out. But before we begin, don't forget to smash that subscribe button to keep up with all of the Lunchtime Crew / My Hero content. And so without further ado, let's jump right into My Hero Academia Chapter 391, titled Rejected by the World. This chapter opens up back over with Toga and the Twice clones, where we see the Twice army continuing their harrowing assault on the remaining heroes. During this battle, we see Pixie Bob of the Wild Pussycats desperately trying to hold back the clones with her quirk to little avail, as the sheer volume of clones proved too much for the hero, surrounding and overwhelming her before she could make any significant damage. And unfortunately for our good guys, this seems to be the case for the majority of our heroes, as we see Tiger of the Wild Pussycats, Kami, Shishido, and many other heroes being overrun and outnumbered by the horde of countless Twices. It's also during this overrunning the narration informs us that the heroes have no idea how much of Twice's blood Toga actually possesses, meaning they have no idea when the clones will stop reproducing. Although, as it turns out, this lack of knowledge is the least of their worries, as currently the Sad Man's parade has gotten so massive the heroes stand absolutely no chance against the villain. With this knowledge in hand, we are then greeted with the quite horrifying images of a recovering Ida, an injured Natsune Fuyumi beside an unconscious Shoto, and a devastatingly broken Hawks listening from the last place we saw each of them to the terrifying noise of the Twice horde growing and fighting in the distance. For everyone else, this experience is undoubtedly pretty scary, but for Hawks, this has to be one of the most petrifying feelings in the entire world. Broken, battered, bloodied, and quirkless alone in the wasteland, as an army of the man you killed that hates you more than anyone else in the world getting louder and louder. It's giving me goosebumps just talking about it. But anyways, after this ominous montage, the story cuts on over to Ochaco Uraraka, who we now see has escaped from the Twice dogpile she was caught under at the end of the previous chapter by using her quirk to float in the air. The Twice clones, clearly not happy with this escape, going full World War Z, begin to chase after our floating hero, creating a tower of duplicates that slash and bash at Uraraka the best they can. Amidst this cacophony of clones, Toga, still copied as Twice atop a different tower of duplicates, looks over towards the area where she last saw her comrade, Dobby, and in noticing his flame ball has completely died out, she begins to wonder if he's really gone, and if she has just lost another friend. Unfortunately for Toga, however, this wonder would be her downfall, as in this thought process, she's too distracted to notice Uraraka, who uses her grappling device to catch Toga's arm and swings like Spider-Man away from the horde chasing her right towards Toga. It's also interesting to note that Uraraka calls this maneuver Zero Gravity Spacewalk, so I guess this can be considered a new super move. But anyways, while Uraraka is being propelled towards Toga, she begins to call out to the villain, mentioning how although she has only known Toga for a short time, since summer of last year to be precise, her opinion of her has vastly changed over time. Toga, in hearing this, refutes Uraraka's attempts to talk, claiming that she already gave Uraraka a chance before, but that opportunity is long gone. Regardless, Uraraka persists, continuing by apologizing to Toga that it took her this long to truly see Toga as she is. But now, ironically, she can finally see her through all of this chaos. Uraraka goes on to explain that in seeing Toga cry, she now knows why Toga can't use Twice's quirk to its fullest, which for clarification is making perfect copies of people other than Twice. And the reason is, her murderous intent is overwhelming the feeling of love she has for others. She is filled with so much hate that her body can't feel the love it needs for her quirk to be able to use anyone else's ability. Basically, Toga is so blinded with the intention of unaliving others that she can't express love. Ochaco then ends her speech by saying that initially Sue thought Toga's block came from her lack of love, but Ochaco, in seeing Toga's tears and her desperate repeated declaration that the heroes must die, she knew that it most certainly wasn't due to a lack of love. And And it is with this declaration that things start to change, as we see Toga's copy of Twice slowly begin to drip away, revealing her absolutely furious face as she cries out, "Shut up, Ochaco Uraraka. What do you know about me?" And that's it for chapter 391. Another short chapter this time. If you like this video, don't forget to leave a like. For more content like this, subscribe to the Lunchtime crew. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. It's lunchtime.